So do you also use Instamojo to sell your products online? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to create LeadSquared lead on Instamojo payment. So over here I'm running a Edutech company and we sell our courses online with the help of Instamojo. So now what I want is that as soon as someone is purchasing that same course, automatically with the help of the same customer details, a new lead should be created in my LeadSquared account too. That too without any manual efforts. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Instamojo and LeadSquared. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen, everyone. So in this video, I'll show you how to automatically create a LeadSquared lead whenever a payment is made on Instamojo. This integration helps you to capture valuable customer information seamlessly and to follow up quickly and efficiently with them. So let's get started with a really simple example. So let's say that my name is dummy user and I want to purchase this course. All right. So as you can see that I've entered all of my details, and now I'm going to go towards the delivery information and enter that too. All right. And now we are going to click on proceed to pay right over here, and I'm just going to purchase this course. It is asking me to select the payment method, so I'm just going to select it as credit/debit cards. We're going to enter the card details and click on pay ₹9. All right, and as soon as we're going to do so, it is saying that it has sent me a OTP. Okay, so I'm just going to enter the OTP right over here, which is this. All right, so now after entering this OTP, we have to just click on this submit, and as soon as we are going to click on submit right over here, we are going to wait for a few seconds, and yes, you can see payment successful. Yes, you can see that we have successfully purchased this course, which is PHP for programming, as dummy user. All right, you can see all the details. So now I'm just going to open my LeadSquared account, and yes, you can see the details of that new customer has been added right over here automatically. You can see the same name and the email added right over here. So yes, this is the automation we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this automation for your business, then you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I've simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy, and as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of stars free every month to explore the application. But over here, I'm an existing user, so I'm just going to click on sign in, and as soon as we are going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly, but in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. Alright, so I'm just going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connect account, and as soon as we're going to click on this access now, it is going to open my dashboard, and as you can see that it is opening the same. So now what we have to do is we have to click on this blue button in order to start with our automation. Alright, so now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So here I want to save the workflow in this folder which is automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to create LeadSquared lead on Instamojo payment, Instamojo to LeadSquared, and then we are going to click on create right over here, and as soon as we are going to click on create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. So trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our automation or our workflow will work. Okay, so trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and the actions are response towards the same commands given by our trigger. So therefore we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. All right, so today what I want want is I want to create a LeadSquared lead on Instamojo payment, right? So for that, my trigger would be Instamojo, which is as soon as a new payment is made on my Instamojo, Pabbly is going to trigger the workflow, and further LeadSquared is going to follow the command and create a lead. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to select my trigger application. So as I mentioned that for the trigger application, we are going to select it as Instamojo. So as you can see, Instamojo V1 and V2. So we have to select V2 right over here. And as soon as we are going to do so, it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically, trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So here what I want is that as soon as a new sale is made, my workflow should be started, right? So I'm just going to select as my trigger event. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Instamojo account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. So what we have to do is first we are just going to copy this webhook URL, and then we are going to follow this help text, and it is saying log into your Instamojo account, click on the product for which you wish to set the webhook, navigate to the advanced settings where you will find the section of entering the webhook URL. So to do this, I'm just going to open my Instamojo account, and as you can see that this is my Instamojo account, and over here you can see that this is PHP for programming, and this is the page I want to create this automation for. All right. So now after selecting this page, we have to go towards the three dots of this page and click on edit page. You have to keep in mind that you have to select the same page for which you want to create this automation. And after coming on towards the edit page, we have to go towards the left side of the bar and to the page settings, and once again to the webhook from the left side of the bar. And as soon as we are going to come over here to the webhook, you can see that it is switched off right over here. All right, so I'm just going to switch it on right from here, and now it is asking me to enter the webhook URL. So we are just going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. Okay, and now it is saying information to be sent. So over here I'm going to select the information to be sent as successful payments, because I want that my workflow should be triggered only on successful payments. All right, so now after selecting this, we are just going to click on this save and update, and once again yes, save and update. And as you can see, smart pages PHP for programming edited successfully. So yes, with this we have successfully created a connection between our Instamojo account and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. But now it is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So now to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to put my dashboard once again, and as you can see that this is the page which we connected right now with our workflow, right? So once again we have to go towards the three dots and then view page right over here. And yes, once again I'm just going to purchase this. For that I'm going to click on this enroll now. I'm just going to enter the details right over here. Let's see, for the first name I want it to be test, last name as user, email as testuser4455@pabblytunes.com, and for the mobile number I want it to be this. We are going to move on forward and add the delivery information. You can see these are the details, so I've entered it, and now it is saying use GST number for this payment. So no, I don't want to do so. I'm just going to switch it off and click on this proceed to pay right over here. And as soon as we are going to click on proceed to pay right over here, once again it is asking me to select the payment method. So I'm just going to select it as credit / debit card, and once again we're going to enter the card details. All right, and after entering this card details, once again I'm going to click on pay ₹9, and once again it has sent me a OTP. So I'm just going to enter the OTP right over here. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds, and yes, you can see that it has successfully sent me OTP. So we're just going to enter the OTP, and yes, you can see that now after entering this OTP, I'm just going to click on submit, and as soon as we are going to click on submit, yes, you can see payment successful. With this we have successfully placed our order and purchased this course as test user. So now what has happened is that Instamojo has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the details right over here. You are going to see all the details which we entered. You can see the same buyer's name, you can see the buyer's phone number and the email which we entered. Also you can see the address which we entered, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now what will happen is that as soon as a new sale is made on my Instamojo, Pabbly is going to trigger the workflow and capture the response for the same. All right, so now further what I want is I want to create a LeadSquared lead on Instamojo payment, right? So for the action application, I'm going to select it as LeadSquared. So I'm just going to search for LeadSquared, and as you can see the same, so we're going to select it. And now for the action event, we are going to select it as create or update lead and click on connect. And And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your LeadSquared account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me. Click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the access key, the secret key, and the API host. So yes, to get all of these details, we have to read this help text that it is saying log into your LeadSquared account, visit settings, API and webhooks, and then API access keys, and then we have to go towards the show secret key. All right, so I'm just going to open my LeadSquared account, and after opening this LeadSquared account, what we have to do is we have to go towards the profile picture and then settings, and after coming over towards the settings right over here, we have to go towards the left side of the bar, and as you can see, API and webhook. So we have to go towards this API and webhook section, and as you can see that first right over here we have got our API host. So I'm just going to copy this API host right from here and paste it right over here in my workflow. All right, so now after pasting this API host, we are going to move on forward. We are going to click on this show secret key button right over here, and as you can see that this is our access ID and the secret key. So I'm just going to copy both of this right from here and paste it right over here in my workflow. First, we are just going to paste the access key and then the secret key also. All right, so I'm just going to copy both of these details and paste it right over here in my workflow. So now after pasting both of these details, we are just going to click on save, and as soon as we are going to click on save, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our LeadSquared account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the first name, the last name, the email address, and the phone number, and also for another details. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to enter all of the details as we received in the response of our previous step, which is Instamojo. So as you can see that we received the details like the buyer's name, email, phones. We're going to enter all of these details right over here in my LeadSquared step, but we're not going to enter the details manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step, and as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Instamojo as our trigger application. So we are going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So over here I'm going to give you an example. So let's say that I'm going to enter the first name right over here by typing it manually like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is a static information and I have entered it manually. But if you're going to map this from the previous response, so let's say I'm just going to erase this and map this name from the previous response. So I'm just going to look for name in the previous response, and as you can see, test user. So let's say we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. But as you can notice that it is asking me for the first name, and over here I have mapped the full name because we have received this in the response as full name only. So what we have to do is we have to just split this full name into first name and last name so that we can map it over here separately. And to split this, we are going to add another action step between this trigger and action. So now for the action application, we have to select it as text formatter by Pabbly. So it is a feature by Pabbly which helps you to format the text. And now for the action event, we have to select it as split text. All right, and now after doing this, I'm just going to click on connect, and now it is asking me for the text to split. So here we have to map the buyer's name, which is the full name of our buyer. All right, so as you can see, test users, we have to map it right over here, and now it is asking me for the separator. So it is saying enter the characters or word separators to split the text. For space as separator, use space. All right, so I'm just going to copy this space right from below and paste it right over here in the separator field because I want my separator to be space only. All right, and now it is asking me for the segment index. So for that, I'm just going to keep it as all and click on save and send test request. And as you can see that we have received the positive response that we have successfully splitted the full name into first name and last name. So now we're going to map this first name and last name right over here in our LeadSquared step. All right, so for the first name, I'm going to map the result of the text formatter by Pabbly, which is test. Same we are going to do with the last name too. We are going to move on forward and map this email address. So I'm just going going to look for email address, and as you can see that this is the address received in the previous response. All right, so I'm just going to map the same address. We're going to move on forward, map the phone number right over here. So I'm just going to look for buyer's phone number right over here, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. So you can see that it is asking me for many another details. So all of these details are not the required details, so I'm just going to leave it as blank and click on the save and send test request. But if you wish, you can definitely fill out the rest of the details too. All right, but I don't wish to do so, and also those were not the required details, so I'm directly going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we are going to click on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response. With this, we have successfully created a new lead in our LeadSquared account with the same details received through our Instamojo. All right, so I'm just going to open my LeadSquared account. All right, and now from here we have to go towards the leads and then smart views. And as soon as we are going to come over here towards the smart views, we're going to wait for a few seconds, and yes, you can see a new lead has been added. You can see name test user, and you can see the same email address which we entered right has been added right over here into my new leads. All right, so yes, this is the automation which we have successfully created for our business. And yes, now what will happen is that as soon as a new sale is made on my Instamojo account, automatically Pabbly is going to create or update a new lead into my LeadSquared account without any manual efforts. This workflow is going to run in backend, and we don't have to come back and again to our workflow to click on save and send test request. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.